Everybody, it's Barry here again from Turning the Page, and today's topic is about being in turmoil and um, needing someone you can actually share that sort of stuff with. And turmoil, it's a state of unease, disquiet, and storm. But what if you weren't alone in that kind of drowning boat experience? I think we all need someone like a confidant to share that storm with. And often people will say that life is like a roller coaster ride. You've probably heard it. Ups and downs, highs and lows. But I tend to think it's more like being in a small boat in a vast ocean. And some days your little boat is cruising along, winds in the sails, you've got a direction and all the seas are calm. All is good and life is a breeze. But then at other times, a huge storm rolls in from seemingly out of nowhere, and clouds gather around you, and waves begin high as mountains and they tower over you. You start to lose direction, your sails are torn, and you basically hold on to whatever you can grasp. And the worst part is that we don't know how long this storm will last. Some storms seem to become like permanent residents for a long time. And before I began writing this particular post, I made myself a hot drink. And as I watched the water come to the boil, I had an image of what turmoil is like. I suppose it's a bit like bubbling, churning water. And I looked into the meaning of the word turmoil, and it said that it's a state of great disorder or uncertainty, harassing labour, trouble, disturbance, chaos, disorder, constant motion. Um, and, you know, life is never a stagnant pond, is it? It always seems to have movement and winds blowing across it. But then there are extremes, and we long for quieter days and wonder if they will ever return. And I found that those storms, those times of turmoil, seem to shape us and our little boat. Maturity comes from the storms we face and who we cling to when things get tough. The biblical character Job comes to me as he's a fellow human being who moans and has an expression of chaos. And he says in Job 3 verse 26, I am not at ease, nor am I quiet, and I'm not at rest, but turmoil comes. From Job, we find that there's some definitions of turmoil. Not at ease, not at quiet, not at rest. And looking into the Hebrew word that was used here, we find the word roges. I probably butchered that, how to say it, meaning agitation, excitement, and rage. And it's not the excitement of hopeful anticipation. It's more like the excitement of stirring up of waters, molecules in a boiling kettle. Molecules get excited, they bump together, create upheaval, and I and my little boat have to ride those waves. And I've had enough of that kind of excitement in my life. I'm sure you have too. I want those times of what Job described as ease, quiet, and rest. But often at times it's just like a boiling jug. A confidant gives confidence. Can I confide in you? When someone says these words, you know that they want to share something really precious, something that comes from a deep place, kind of a secret that they would never share openly. And it's wrapped in the dark paper of possibly guilt and shame. It's been hidden away. No one knows. For some reason, they have felt that you have a safe pair of hands, that you won't do anything rash or wild with their gift. You're not going to go and make a public announcement of whatever they're going to share, but that you will hold the secret they have been carrying and treat it with deep respect it deserves. A confidant will enter the storm-tossed boat and share in knowing the agitation, stirring, and darkness. They will give you little slithers of confidence as you face the next dark wave. In my roller coaster ride of turmoil, I wanted someone strapped in beside me, a confidant, a friend, a soulmate, a soul talker that has traveled through the dark storms. You see, confidence grows when we going through the storm waves one time. What have I written here? Confidence grows through facing the storm waves one at a time with a friend. One at a time with a friend. Moments of stillness, rest, ease, and quietness restore each other's souls and build a friendship before the foul winds build again. What does a confidant look like? Well, first check for signs of wear and tear. Calloused hands, salt-bleached hair, wrinkled skin. Look, people have been there, done that. You know, you're looking for the calloused hands, the salt-bleached hair, the wrinkled skin. Look, and they are not box tickers, legalists, mechanics, engineers, chess players, or sergeant majors. More likely, you'll find them in the garden, the dance studio, the kitchen, or behind an easel. They know the sun and the soil, the rhythm and the rhyme, the herbs and the spices, the pastels and the paints. They sit comfortably with disorder and allow it to be what it is. So what do we do in the turmoil? Well, in my little boat, tossed about in turmoil, my confidant brings me to the surety of what they know will help. They bring my focus back to deep anchor-like habits. And so in my turmoil, I return to the habits of prayer, listening and reading scripture, serving others, silence and confession. Confession of my confusion. I vomit out my soul to my confidant. Tears begin to flow. Wild, untamed thoughts lash out. I don't want to be phased, which is fixed, advised, saved, or set straight. I simply want to be known and have a companion. I don't want to be alone. So only some people can handle that sort of thing, eh? Only some people are equipped to carry that load, but some are, and they are very precious. Look, can I sit with you and journey a few thoughts? You might like to email me and we get on Zoom or something else and just talk about some stuff that's going on for you. Very happy to do that. Here's some quotes for you to think about. Genuine presence involves being genuinely myself. I can be present for another person only when I dare to be present for myself. Dr. David Benner. To confide is sometimes to deliver into a person's power. To confide is sometimes to deliver into a person's power. Victor Hugo. Opening up your soul to someone, letting them into your spirit, thoughts, fears, future, hopes, dreams, that is being naked. Rob Bell. Can you be vulnerable? We all need touch and hugs, but first we must take down the walls that have been built too high around our hearts. David Riddell. Every hard thing we endure can put us in touch with our desire for God, and every trial can strengthen that desire until it becomes the consuming passion of our life. Larry Crabb. Whether life is bumpy or smooth, the most supernatural thing we can do is to want to know God better, to value His presence and His purposes above everything else, and to want directions for the journey into His presence more than a plan for making life work. Larry Crabb. Every hard thing we endure can put us in touch with our desire for God, and every trial can strengthen that desire until it becomes the consuming passion of our life. Larry Crabb. Everyone is dealing with some hardship that may be invisible to you. Judith Orloff. And the last one, poets do not go mad, but chess players do. Mathematicians go mad, and cashiers, but creative artists very seldom. I'm not, as will be seen, in any sense attacking logic. I only say that this danger does lie in logic, not in imagination. G.K. Chesterton. Here's some questions. What's your little boat on the ocean like as you read this? Are you being bounced around in a storm? Or maybe you're a bit settled at the moment. And number two, what are the qualities that you look for in a confidant? Number three, you've been through times of turmoil. What have you learned from them? Okay, love to hear from you. Send me an email, barry@turningthepage.co.nz, or you can come and look at this website page that I've written just by following the link down in the show notes. Hey, until next time, I pray that if you're in a bit of a turmoil at the moment, that you would find a confidant that you can share that with. Okay, bye.